All right, everything's sent. Just gotta make sure my mic is working. All right. Yep, it's working. All right.
Coming up next for the Warriors.
And this is it, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to Flip.
This could very well be the last game of the NBAT Season 12.
We've got Ben Simmons, Kawhi Leonard out there.
Pyongyang is up
There with
2-1.
Jaylen Brown, and it's Jokic.
Can Pyongyang put an end to this season, or will Boston manage to finally break their curse? Boston wins the tip-off.
Now here's
I'm
Jordan.
going to try not to commentate as much over every single play, but I will try to pay some level of attention. Can't blame you for being nervous, Kenny. This is going to be interesting to see. Pyongyang almost immediately a charge on LeBron James. That's not a good start for Pyongyang. Not a good start at all. But can Boston capitalize? That's the better question, if you ask me. Jaylen Brown on Kyrie Irving. Paul George trying to get some room here. Gets a mismatch against Jokic. He misses, but Capella gets the offensive board. LeBron gets the ball, and Boston draws first blood. Boston draws first blood, but will that matter in the grand scheme of this ball game?
Steps back.
LeBron on Kawhi. Kawhi thinks better of it. Ben Simmons has his mismatch against Kyrie Irving, and he gets fouled by Capella. No good. He's going to the free throw line. Simmons, historically an iffy free throw shooter. Let's see if he can make both here. He makes the first.
The first one at the line is good. He's perfect.
And he hits the second. We're tied with just over a minute over in the quarter.
Here in the first.
Kyrie Irving against Jaylen Brown. This has been an interesting matchup. Kyrie Irving's managed to get his, mostly off screens like that. Hits the three. Beautiful shot from Uncle Drew.
Tough shots, Luke. Easy. Leonard outside.
Ben Simmons gives it to Kawhi. Jokic against Capella. This has been an interesting matchup that Jokic has mostly won so far this series, and it looks like that trend's going to continue. We haven't seen a lot of Ben Simmons attacking Kyrie Irving, strange enough, but we've seen plenty of Kyrie attacking Jaylen Brown, and in that scenario, didn't really pan out. Jaylen Brown has it. Ben Simmons, they're attacking that matchup now. And it works out. Pyongyang takes the lead 6-5 with just under 4 minutes left in the quarter. Paul George, and Jimmy Butler has been one of the more interesting matchups this series so far. But now we've got Christian Wood against Ben Simmons. That's a choice. And it ends in a steal for the Pyongyang Warriors. Jimmy Butler gives it to Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard gets it in. A new defensive adjustment from Coach Mike Malone per the executive order of Blue Devils owner TLD, and we're going to get a timeout from Boston. They don't like what they're seeing out there so far. And I can't say I blame them.
And real quick, let's check out the field goal percentage leaders in the postseason. Nikola Jokic is second. Fourth, Kawhi Leonard.
They've been both taking great
We'll have to
shots.
see.
That's the efficiency
Outside of
you want in
game
the postseason.
Game 3, every game has been pretty close, I'd say.
Quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played so far.
Game 3 is really the only one that really got out of control.
Irving against Brown.
But yeah, there was double-digit leads after Game 1 and Game 2, but that was after like 3.5 quarters of very close, of it being very close. Kyrie Irving launches a 3 over Jaylen Brown, and he nails it to tie the game back up to 8 apiece. Ben Simmons, I think they want to abuse that matchup with Kyrie. I guess they don't. Jaylen Brown has it. Then PJ Washington back to Jaylen Brown. Ben Simmons exclusively out of the action. You'd think they'd want to attack that matchup of Ben Simmons on Kyrie Irving more. Well, I guess they like this matchup more. And no luck. LeBron James hits the rebound.
First miss of the game. They've been just rolling.
And now Boston with a chance to take the lead. It almost turns into a turnover. Josh Richardson with an ill-advised shot. And now it's back in the hands of the Warriors. Ben Simmons is going to orchestrate it here. Kawhi Leonard, no. And Jaylen Brown, easy 3 to reclaim the lead from Pyongyang. That has been the story of the series. I feel like the major difference is Pyongyang is more effective at just shaking the defense loose for just enough space to get easy threes. And LeBron James, speaking of easy, he gets that easy layup. And I was saying last game, if Boston wants to win, they need more from King James. And hopefully that's the start of something. Because they're going to need everything and more from LeBron if they want to force a Game 5. Pyongyang with a timeout. And now Josh Giddey's going to handle the ball this time. That's been another interesting matchup. Josh Giddey against Kyrie Irving. I feel like some of Kyrie's best offense thus far this series has been against Josh Giddey. But Kyrie's not the best defender either, so
looking in control. Out to the right wing.
Kyrie Irving, like I was saying, a lot of that offense came against Giddey, but he thinks better of it. Cam Reddish against Jokic. And Capella cleans it up with a putback. Josh Giddey, Kyrie Irving, into Jokic against Clint Capella. That's been a pretty good matchup for Jokic so far this series. And now Butler goes against Paul George. He hits. Those two, I feel like, have been the X factors in this series. I feel like they're so similar. Both are great at offense. Both are tenacious defenders. But it seems like Butler's gone the better end of the series so far, at least in the defensive end. But the offensive end has definitely worked in favor of Paul George and Josh Giddey. Beautiful block on Kyrie Irving. I was saying just before, Kyrie Irving's more or less killed that matchup. Josh Giddey, I guess he's got something to say about that. Paul George had all the daylight in the world, but the ball wasn't passed to him. And they're going to pass it to him now? That's a very questionable decision there. He had all the daylight in the world, and they didn't give it to him. They waited until Jimmy Butler recovered. Not the wisest decision, I'd say.
To the right wing.
Jokic taking the last shot, and he hits it. 0.2 seconds left. Boston doesn't even have time to get a shot off. So we end the quarter.
And we'll get things
Boston
started in the
12,
second quarter with
Pyongyang 17.
And always ready in the clutch. Kyrie Irving says he saves his best for the fourth quarter.
Me, I just try to feel out there.
Irving, perhaps underrated as a tactician, Grant.
Oh, yeah. It's a chess match indeed. One move, one play sets up the next.
And here we go. The NBA Finals continue here on 2K Sports. And what do you guys think about the visitors here in this one?
Well, their offense is clicking so far, capturing the momentum here early on.
Yeah, how many coaches say we want to start fast? Now let's see if they can maintain that intensity.
We've got Clint Capella, Paul George out there with Jordan Poole. Then there's Christian Wood, and it's James in at the 3.
All right, we're here for the second half now. 30 seconds have elapsed. Jimmy Butler for 3, no good. Jimmy Butler,
in at the 3
possibly one of the worst three-point shooters in the NBA.
Yes, it's good.
And great shot there. Boston reduced the lead just 3, one possession game.
Away from that here in the second.
Simmons with it, picked up by James.
No, there it is.
Goes up on the baseline, and there's Jokic.
And beautiful shot from Nikola Jokic.
Warriors lead by 5.
And once again, the shot discrepancy in percentages between the Warriors and the Blue Devils is the story here. And again, Paul George had a bunch of daylight, and they didn't pass to him. Is he in the doghouse or something? What the fuck?
Wood outside.
And Wood gets a heavily contested 3. Boston's offense has just gone stagnant, and Paul George nearly gets the steal, but Kawhi Leonard gets it in. Pyongyang slowly picking up momentum here. Is beginning to feel a lot like Game 3.
George outside.
Paul George, screen from Capella, and Paul George manages to get it back, but rushes the shot, misses it. Maybe that's why they're not giving him the ball. Ben Simmons against Christian Wood, and now Jimmy Butler with a mismatch on Clint Capella. Jokic with a screen, but Capella stays with him. Great defense from Capella, but it doesn't matter. Jokic with an easy look, and the Blue Devils call a timeout. Mike Malone's got to do something. He needs to switch this up, because this is Boston's season, and they're down 9 before the half. That is atrocious.
Held by Paul George.
Seems like these two can always find points, no matter what big game pressure they're playing.
LeBron James, once again, they need him to show up. They need LeBron. They need Paul George. They need Kyrie Irving. They need every single one of those 3 if they want to keep their season alive and force a Game 5.
Back to James.
And LeBron, he had a 3 for a second there. He passed it up to Josh Richardson. Boston's offense is just questionable. What are they doing out there? They've had opportunities, but they're just giving it away. And Kawhi Leonard, easy. Easy.
In total control on that.
Boston selling. I am
reading the defense and taking it himself.
As a former Boston Blue Devil myself. Okay, there you go, LeBron. Give him a bit more of that. But I'm going to speak personally here for a second. I've been part of both these organizations. Season 3, I was so close to retiring from NBAT. I ended up in Pyongyang. Before that and after that, most of my NBAT career, I was with Boston. So, for me, I'm happy with either of these teams winning. They both have a special place in my heart. But for me, I was hoping for a good series, and Boston just is not bringing the fight. And when it seems like their offense does start to get somewhere, their defense just collapses, and it's just disheartening to see. Because while I do like both these teams for my personal attachments, I'm going to be honest here. I kind of wanted to see Boston win. Not because I got anything against Pyongyang, not because I like Boston better. I wanted to see the curse finally end. I just wanted to see Boston finally break that ceiling, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Back to Reddish.
I was hoping the curse was finally broken, but no. The curse is still very much alive.
Pass to George. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
Unless Paul George wants to do something here.
Finally gets one to go.
I guess that was something, I guess. I kind of call it stupid, to be completely honest. He's only... Jesus Christ! Paul George is selling at the worst possible time. Jesus!
The 3 is up. It's hauled in by Reddish. For Boston, they've got 4 of 8 shots to drop in the second. And the 3-pointer goes.
And Boston hits a 3. It's a 2-possession game. Suddenly it seems like it's a possibility they might actually win. Josh Giddey had a 3, but he thinks better of it. Says Christian Wood. Gives it to P.J. Washington. Matchup with Bol. Back to Giddey. Screen from Washington.
Driving to the basket.
And he's fouled by Bol. My God! Paul George has been ass!
Taking 2 shots.
The first one falls.
Giddey hits the first. We're back up to a 7-point game. Now Giddey, the second free throw.
That's also good.
Easy money.
Both free throws. For Boston, they've gotten over 50% of their shots to go. 5 for 9 in the second. There's 25 seconds.
Capella didn't even do a screen there. Paul George for 3. Has Pandemic P finally shown up? Because they're going to need him. Josh Giddey. Once again, Pyongyang only for the last shot of the quarter and of the half by default. Josh Giddey pass to Jokic. Jokic has been very effective in these situations. He does it again. We're at the half. Pyongyang up 34-27. Boston still in striking distance, but this is slowly getting out of hand.
Well, now a minute to check in with Allie LaForce. She's courtside. Hey. I'm here. Thanks, Allie.
This is quickly, very quickly getting out of control for Boston.
Postseason action. They're getting into the lane whenever they want, getting some high percentage looks. I don't see the coaching staff switching up too much. Keep it simple.
There you see the playoff bracket.
They're looking to take a 3-1 lead tonight.
And look at the differences between those shooting percentages. Pyongyang is hungry for their 3rd championship. Not their 3rd, 2nd, I apologize. They are starving for their 2nd championship. And now, Pyongyang's going to start the half with the ball, and it's do or die time. Pyongyang, 12 minutes. 12 more minutes and they get a championship. They're 2nd in franchise history. And Clint Capella calls for the blocking foul.
Couldn't quite get there.
Pass to Butler. Now here's Jokic, guarded by Capella.
Jokic against Capella. Jokic has been deadly effective in this matchup all series. And right there, Capella finally gets something on Jokic defensively. Kyrie Irving lobs it, and that error could cost them big time. A chance to get some momentum to start the 3rd, just literally thrown away, and it turns into an easy 2 points for Ben Simmons.
I mean, the defense has no response.
Boston looks dead in the water. Boston needs something. They need something fast. LeBron James to Paul George. And he passed to Clint Capella, who passed to Paul George, who gets his shot to go. but it's still 7 points. Not insurmountable, but that's rough, especially considering how this series seems to be a lot of back and forth, ultimately being closed by a Warriors run, and an easy dunk like that, mental lapses like that are killing them. Look at Jimmy Butler, clamping up defensively, only contributing a little bit on the offensive end. That is exactly what you need from him. Paul George, however, he just doesn't have it. Kyrie Irving for three, no good.
And this is exactly who you want.
Kawhi Leonard gives it to Nikola Jokic. To Kawhi Leonard against LeBron James. This matchup, honestly, I don't know how effective it's been. I can't say it hasn't been because I don't think Kawhi Leonard's really taken over like that and I'm blocking foul and Clint Capella. But at the same time, I don't really think Kawhi Leonard's been ineffective either. So make of that what you will, I guess, in terms of effectiveness. Ben Simmons, of course, Kyrie Irving giving him all the space in the world. Screen from Jokic. Now it goes to Kawhi Leonard for three. It bounces out. Good recovery from Kyrie Irving. And now Paul George taking it up the court. Kyrie Irving trying to get... And look at this, LeBron James for three! Bang! That is crucial. That very well could be the first steps to a Boston comeback. And unsurprisingly, Pop doesn't like what he sees. Takes the timeout. It's a two-possession game. Kelly has the ball. They can very easily correct that mistake.
Kyrie Irving is fourth.
Kawhi Leonard against LeBron James again. LeBron James' defense has definitely, I'd say it's been effective. And as soon as I say that, easy assist for Kawhi, 3 points, beautiful execution there.
But he just needs a good pass and he'll knock it down.
Like every other game, every time it seems like Boston's getting something going, the defense just falls apart. And LeBron almost loses it. And he goes against Ben Simmons. He turns nothing into something. 41-34, 7-point game. Kawhi Leonard hasn't necessarily been as good as normal. And Jordan Poole against Ben Simmons, that is baby. That is, he's too little. He's too little. Kyrie Irving is the better defense than Ben Simmons. Jordan Poole passes it to LeBron James. Dwight Howard back to LeBron. Dwight Howard at the top of the keys of choice. Paul George, what are you doing? Paul George is building houses for the homeless with all these bricks he's laying. Kawhi Leonard passes to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown against Paul George. He gets it. It's an 11-point game. This is eerily similar to Game 3 right now. Boston needs to move and fast. LeBron James against Kawhi Leonard. They've more or less canceled each other out all game so far. And LeBron James almost rebounded by Dwight Howard, but it fell out of his hands. And in the end, it's in Ben Simmons' hands.
Simmons against Poole.
Ben Simmons to Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown attacks Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, great defense. And now Boston, there's less than a minute and a half left. Boston needs to make something happen. They need momentum. They need it now. And now LeBron James, he's going to try to make it himself. No, he's going to pass to Christian Wood. Christian Wood breaks the three. And now the Warriors with a chance to extend the lead even further. The bleeding continues for Boston. Boston may have drew first blood in this game, but in the end, it looks like Pyongyang is winning this game through the method of death through 1,000 paper cuts. Every little mistake Boston makes has just led to profuse bleeding on their end. Offense being handed to Pyongyang, and now it just looks like it's too late. They can't stop the bleeding.
Passes to Brown.
Jaylen Brown trying to go again. No good. Can Boston make this at the very least a single-digit game before the fourth quarter? We've seen crazier comebacks happen before, but I think if it's anything more than 10 points, Boston doesn't stand a chance. LeBron against Kawhi, no good. And that's the end of the third. That could very well be. That miss could very well be the death blow for Boston. This game isn't over yet. We've seen crazier comebacks happen, but against this ferocious Pyongyang defense, Boston needs everything they possibly can get, and we're going to have Kyrie Irving starting off the quarter. Screen from Christian Wood. He thought about the three. Maybe he should have went for it. I don't know. LeBron James against Kawhi Leonard. That has been the matchup that has determined this game. And LeBron misses an open three.
Keep giving him that shot. Bad things.
I was saying at the end of the last game, Boston needs LeBron. And LeBron has not shown up.
Simmons gets it to go.
Yeah, showing a little versatility with their offensive attack. In the first half,
that third quarter was pretty low scoring, but it doesn't seem like it's enough. LeBron wants to do it himself.
He's been fantastic.
Shades of ballers LeBron trying to carry the load and the burden of the team on his own. Nikola Jokic against Clint Capella, and Clint Capella has not been able to slow Jokic down at all this series. It looked like a good matchup going in, but Jokic he's just eaten. Capella's gone eaten alive by Jokic. Now LeBron again. LeBron really is trying to put this team on his back. He really is doing his best impression of Superman. Now Kawhi Leonard, Jokic, long two. Easy. Easy. Boston just can't put it together. Like TOD said, they can't seem to string together good offense and defense at the same time. It seems like they're giving and choosing every possession. One possession, they will lock Pyongyang up, but because of that, they do not have the energy to score. Whereas on the other hand, they'll make nothing into something, score an unlikely basket, but then give up an equally as unlikely basket on the other end. Boston just seems incapable of working both sides of the floor. Ben Simmons, imagine if he popped a three there. And now, that's even worse than the Capella matchup. And there's still time for Boston to come back, but I think at this point, it might be time. I think it might be time to start talking about hanging up Pyongyang's second banner.
Poor rotations, slow help, and just not enough toughness on the interior. They've got a lot to talk about.
I think this might be game. There's still plenty of time. Boston can still make something happen, but it's do or die. Boston needs to play perfect. Pyongyang can coast the rest of the way.
That lack of communication at that end has led to breakdowns, wide open shooters, and easy.
We're gonna see Kyrie Irving fouled by Ben Simmons there. Was it the first free throw? He gets it. Can he get the second?
Both free throws good from Irving.
Boston's path to victory in this game is not unattainable. All they need is to play defense 4 possessions straight, get a 4 straight possessions, which in these sliders is very possible, and I was going to say it'd be a 1-point game, but now they got to do it 5 possessions. And with just under 3 minutes left, time's not on their side, especially if they're going to try to play this kind of game. Paul George pass to Capella. Capella gets it to go. 13 points. but
Great finish. Capella has a
Boston needs to start forcing turnovers. They need to start playing some of the most effective defense you can imagine.
Outside Simmons.
But I don't know if they can. Pyongyang, they can just try to run out the clock if they want.
Outside Brown. 6 on the shot clock. Leonard. Good.
There's no reason for Pyongyang to rush, but
Inside, Leonard has so many go-to
Pyongyang, you've never known them to just coast. They have the foot on the throat, and they want to crush the larynx. They are not taking any chances.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Was hoping to call a close game
George
at the end, but unfortunately,
the Warriors have gotten all 6 shots to fall in the fourth quarter.
this Boston team just can't put it together.
Simmons against Capella. Leonard outside. Pass to Brown. Back to Leonard. Lays it up and banks it in.
It's hard to find enthusiasm for these games where it's a blowout. Like, Game 3 was so easy to get hyped, to get invested until the end because it was close. But this game has been all Pyongyang. Too little, too late. Once again, Paul George. I need to point a finger real quick. LeBron James didn't show up like he needed to.
And the shot falls short that time.
Kyrie Irving, surprisingly quiet.
7 from the field in the
But
fourth
I'm
quarter.
laying this at the feet of Paul George. Paul George has been a great player for most of these playoffs. But this game, when they needed him most, he just disappeared.
Yeah, how they ended this.
Kawhi Leonard was a quiet game,
And that's a shame.
but Boston just could not capitalize.
Leonard against Wood. From 9 feet out. Again, the miss by Leonard.
But the curse lives on.
George.
The curse lives on. Paul George now stat padding in crunch time. Absolutely no shame, this man.
Is when it comes to his passing. I mean,
Just take the L with some grace.
Rejected by James. Here's Leonard. Rebounded by LeBron. Now here's George.
Paul George to LeBron.
Takes a 3.
LeBron for 3.
James can't get it to go.
And that's going to do it. The greatest defensive team in NBAT history. The first, along with Tampa, team to go undefeated in the regular season walks away from season 12 champions. Pyongyang with their second championship. A phenomenal showing. Boston, through most games, put up a good fight. But in the end, when it came to their home floor, they just disappointed, especially here in Game 4. Congratulations to Kenny. Congratulations to the Pyongyang Warriors. Congratulations for your second NBAT championship. And it's probably not my choice, but if I gotta choose, the finals MVP just has to be the Claw Kawhi Leonard. He may not have shut up for Game 4 because LeBron played great defense, but Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, he carried them on his back. He carried the team on his back. He played great defense even in Game 4. And right here, Adam Silver agrees. The corrupt commish agrees. Kawhi Leonard is the Season 12 Finals MVP. I have to say, great effort from the Blue Devils. This is their second appearance in the Finals.
On 2K Sports.
Here's hoping that in their next chance, whether it be season 13, 14, whatever season in the future, here's hoping that in that season, the curse finally ends and that third time is the charm. Looking at the stats, Paul George, a lot of that is stat padding. I am sorry. He was 1 for 5 at one point. And at least 3 of those shots came in garbage time. LeBron, I mean, you played good defense on Kawhi. I really can't fault you. Kyrie, where were you, dude? You're you're the number 1 scoring option. You were the best offensive player, not even on the Blue Devils, I'd argue across both teams this entire series. And when your team needed you most, you disappeared. The bench guys, you don't expect much from them. Josh Richardson, possibly the worst player on the team. He should not be getting 3 shots. Come on now. How is Quinn Capella shooting better efficiency than you guys? Christian Wood, what the fuck is that? Jesus Christ. Alright, here we go. Jokic, no, even with that, I'd say Kawhi Leonard's still the player of the game here. Jokic might have better efficiency and more points, but 1 less rebound, way more assists. Ben Simmons had a pretty good game. It was very quiet. 2 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, 10 points. Jaylen Brown went out there and did his thing. Was kind of low-key hoping he'd win Finals MVP. Josh Giddey was very much a surprise in this series, I'd say. Jimmy Butler really didn't do much that game, did he? He just quietly played good defense. Derek White, he just didn't play Derek White at all. Same with Taco Fall. But that's going to do it for Season 12 of NBAT. Congratulations to Kenny. Congratulations to the Pyongyang Warriors. Good game to TLD and the Boston Blue Devils. Hopefully, next time we reach the finals, 3rd time will be the charm. And to anybody watching, thank you for joining us on this great season. And we hope to see you in Season 13, whenever the hell that is. So until then, thanks for joining us. And congratulations to our reigning champions, 2-time champs, the Pyongyang Warriors.